Namaste. My name is Kathy, and I am delighted to be able to offer you this online chair yoga class. I'm hoping that this will reach my students that have been coming to me live for the last few years. We haven't been able to spend much time together this year. So I hope this class reaches you. And if you're someone that has been forwarded the link or found your way here by some other means, I'm very happy that you have, and I hope that you enjoy our time together, our chair yoga class. So the first thing to say is find a comfortable seat, but not sitting all the way back in the chair. So I'm going to show you from the side. So I have a special yoga chair here. It doesn't, you don't have to have that, but you do want to have a firm chair. And what you can see is I've put a kind of blanket on my chair and then a cushion to get myself up a little higher. And when I sit for chair yoga, I sit towards the front of my seat with my feet kind of underneath my knees. So I'm not kind of sitting like this, which is a little unstable. So I'm using my feet to get nice and stable. And the reason that I'm sitting forward in my seat is because I don't want to kind of distort the curves of my spine. I want to sit up on my sitting bones, which allows me to have the natural curves in the spine. If you tend to be a kind of a little bit of a sloucher in general, and most of us are, it might seem kind of effortful to sit upright, but if you have something underneath your sitting bones that allows your hips to be a little bit higher, than your knees, then it becomes quite accessible to kind of sit up on your sitting bones. So if I take one more cushion, it looks very high, but these cushions are quite soft. So if I kind of sit up even a little higher, oh, that's really like it's almost effortful for me to sit back. So getting that height underneath you can really support your upright posture. And when your pelvis is in the right position, you don't really have to think about doing anything else to the spine. The spine will naturally take its kind of curvaceous shape when the pot of the pelvis, right? If you think of your spine like a plant, kind of a vine rising up, when the pot is level, then the spine finds its uprightness, which has a natural curve to it. So don't be afraid to get some cushions and get yourself up on a little bit of a height. So with that, I'm going to come back so that I can face you, so you can see me, and I'm going to imagine that I can see you. So again, having your feet maybe a little bit wider than your hips gives you a nice stable posture. Setting the heels up so the heels are more or less underneath your knees, and you can feel that kind of uprightness sitting on your sitting bones. And just start to shift your weight side to side, just to really feel into the sitting bones. So you really feel like you're connecting on one side and then on the other side. And you'll feel the weight ever so slightly moves from one leg into the other leg. As you get heavy on the right side, you're more aware of your right leg. Your right foot is kind of pressing into the floor a little bit. And same on the other side. And you're just going side to side to connect with, what does it feel like when I'm leaning to the right? What does it feel like when I'm leaning to the left? And then as you've done maybe 5 or 6 rocking motions, side to side, see what it's like to find your way back into a sense of center. So you're not tipping to one side, you're not tipping to the other side. And it can take just, little micro movements, just slight leaning to one side and then the other, and then coming back and finding a sense of center. and just noticing if, oh yeah, center. Sometimes we have to go out of center to find our way back. If your eyes can close, let your eyes close. And what I mean by if your eyes can close is if it's comfortable for you to close your eyes, close your eyes. If it's not comfortable to close your eyes, then let your gaze be down towards the floor, couple of feet in front of you. And just notice what it's like to have this sense of being centered on your sitting bones. Take a few breaths in through the nose and out through the mouth, as if you're fogging a window. Three more like this. Arriving into your body. Feeling your feet on the floor, your sitting bones on the chair. Landing, grounding, connecting in. And then with the hands on the thighs, just let your hands kind of move up and down the thighs, just on top of the thigh bone. And let your thumbs come right into your hip creases. So you're starting from right back here and then pressing down as you move forward. And the torso can come forward a little. It's not a big movement, but you're just connecting, feeling the hands and the legs. You can kind of go out to the outside of the leg and up the front and down the outside and up the front. And then the inside of the leg as well. So really connecting with the leg bones in a very kind of stable way. And then if it's available to come forward and move down. So when you come forward, if you're able to reach down to the ankles, you can come up the calf. So just really, again, touching in, literally, touching into this sensation of your legs, keeping the feet firmly rooted to the floor. And then making two little fists. So put your thumb into the center and just tapping. So starting at the sides of your bottom and tapping down to the knees and back up again. 2 and 3. And as your spine just hinges forward, you can feel the weight coming into your feet. And then on the tops of the thighs. I'm just letting the breath do whatever it wants to do. And then the inside of the thighs, if you wish to open your feet a little bit wider. Just stimulating the energy pathways and then bringing the feet back together and then coming down and see if you can tap the sides of the legs. If it's stressful in any way for your back and there's a lot of rounding and kind of reaching and it's uncomfortable, then you can just stay up with the upper parts of the legs. So working with whatever is available to you. If you are forward and can reach the lower part of the legs, you can kind of tap the calf muscles at the back. So just tapping. And then finishing up with one more little nice massage of the legs. And then letting the hands just rest center of the thigh, sitting up in your sitting bones, and taking a moment to just tune in, noticing what you feel in the legs. Little tingling, little pulsing. Maybe offering a little smile like, oh, hello, legs. Hello, energy lines. Letting out a nice cleansing exhale. And then you can hold on to the sides of your chair, come up onto the balls of your feet and jiggle, jiggle, jiggle. So now that you've kind of given them a little gentle awakening, you're going to bring a little more vigor into it. So on the balls of the feet rather than the heels, just giving them a jiggle up and down, and then taking them out to the side and back into touch and all the way out as far as you can go, and letting the knees come back into touch. Let's do 2 more like that. Out and back in and out and back in, and letting that settle down. Bring the hands back to rest on the thighs, closing the eyes, and just feeling that aliveness, pulsing, tingling, maybe a little heat, maybe a little coolness, just whatever is arising in sensation for you. Hello, body. And then we're going to get into a little more specific. So slide your left foot out and draw your toes up as if you wanted to draw your toes towards your knee. Straighten the leg as much as is available for you. The leg that's bent, you can keep that foot firmly pressing into the floor, and even maybe just bring your hands to the thigh to kind of, keep some clarity in that leg. That's your stabilizing leg. And then wiggle the toes of the leg that is extended. Give those toes a nice wiggle. And then you're going to start to make circles with the ankle. And you're kind of turning on the back of the heel. And so sometimes we might move the whole leg, and I want you to try not to do that. So hold the leg relatively straight so that we're focusing on opening some mobility in the ankle, and then change the direction. And we do about 8 in each direction. So 5, 6, 7, 8, and then flex the foot again, wiggle the toes, and we're going to point the toe. So you're kind of straightening at the front of that ankle there, and then you're going to flex again. And when you flex, usually you'll find the heel kind of slides away from you. And then when you point, the heel kind of slides towards you a little bit and flex. So you're not doing it by bending the knee. Again, you're keeping the leg straight and seeing if you can just bring the action into the area of the ankle. So 5, 6, 7, and 8. And then flex that foot, wiggle those toes, and then bring that leg back in. And you can have a look down at your feet. I'm doing my exercises in my bare feet because I love to liberate my feet from shoes and socks. And I can see there's a difference in the just the brightness of the foot. So even those simple exercises, we've brought some blood flow in, we've brought some energy in, we've really helped the circulation down in that leg and in the foot. So you can look at yours and see like, oh yes, it's kind of brighter. All right, other side. So slide the leg out, and again, you might just bring a little weight into your supporting leg to kind of keep you connected to the earth through that stabilizing leg. Wiggle the toes. Hello, toesies. Try to get as much space between the toes as you can. And then start your rotations. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Go the other way. And remembering that you're trying not to move the whole leg, but more focus in the movement of the ankle. And then flex, so drawing the toes towards the knee, wiggle those toes again, and then start to point the toe and flex, and point and flex. 3 and 4. And you're kind of sliding the heel forward and back. 5, 6, 7, and 8. And then wiggle, 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 and take that leg back in and have a look. Ooh, now this one is the brighter one. So we can see that the circulation is moving into the area of activity. So come up onto the balls of the feet, and again, jiggle, jiggle, jiggle. You can hold on to the sides of the chair and feel that jiggling. Take the legs out to the side and back in, out to the side and back in. And you're trying to keep your body, your upper body stable, so stay connected to your sitting bones. And then back in. Close your eyes and just feel the pulsation of energy in your lower limbs, in your legs. I'm feeling it a lot around my calf muscles and the shin bone. Even feeling a little tingling in the spaces between my toes. Okay, next little piece is very similar, but you might want to sit back a little more because you're going to bring both legs out. So you want to be nicely balanced on your chair. If you feel in any way a little wobbly about that, you can take your padding off if that's going to help. Sometimes it does make you feel a little more stable. I've got great handles here to kind of hold on to in this chair. You might, if you want to do this piece in a chair that has arms. So make sure that you feel stable. And if you don't feel stable for this part, just do one side at a time again. But you can do both together. So wiggle your toes and bring the legs as close together as you can, and then start to move in circles. And it's a little more challenging than you might think. And you're not going as fast as you can, but you're going as mindfully as you can, really feeling into the places where it feels a little stuck and the places where it feels mobile. And then change the direction of your circle. And if the knees bend a little bit here when you're doing the two together, that's okay. And then back to the center and flex both feet and point both feet. 2 and point. Flex 3 and point. Flex 4 and point. Flex 5 and point. 6 and point. 7 and point. 8 and point. And then one more time, wiggle, wiggle, wiggle with the toes. And sometimes just the slow, steady, rhythmic movement and counting can be quite soothing to the system. And step the legs in. So we've said hello to the feet and to the legs a little bit. And now we're going to come up to the shoulders. So let your arms dangle down by the sides. If you're feeling that if you took away your cushion to be more stable on your chair and you feel like, oh, it's not as comfortable to sit up tall, you can put that back. So you want to feel that you can have that nice uprightness in the spine. But of course, you do want to feel stable in your sitting bones. So finding that right balance. Let the arms dangle down and roll the shoulders up and back. 1, 2. So stay connected to the feet because it's the stability in the feet and in the legs that allows us to move in the upper body. So we do 8 in one direction and then 8 in the other. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. And then you can just kind of do a little wiggle and a shimmy, just opposite, and then go the other way. And that can be almost a little confusing. And then go the first way again. And I can feel it's loosening some things up in my chest, and then reverse that. Again, stay connected to the feet on the floor. Gently press the feet into the floor to help keep you stable. And then just rest. Let the hands rest on the thighs. Close your eyes and just notice what you're feeling around the shoulders. I'm definitely feeling a little heat. Reconnect with the breath. And then we're going to do a little movement with the neck. So we're going to be mindful of your chin. So when you move the neck, you don't want your chin to lift up, right? So we won't want any dramatic shortening at the back of the neck. But as you turn to one side, go nice and slow and keep your chin so that it's not lifting up or down. And then inhale back to the center. And then exhale to the other side, nice and slow and steady. There's no rush and there's definitely no forcing. Inhaling, coming back to the center. You're just going to where the body allows you to go. And with each inhale, coming to the center. And with each exhale, going to the other side. And I like to close my eyes for this. And I feel stabilized by gently connecting to the feet on the floor, connecting my hands to my thigh bones, feeling the connection of my sitting bones to my seat. But if you feel in any way uncomfortable with closing the eyes, then of course you can keep your eyes open. But when we do this with our eyes closed, we become less caught up in pushing ourselves to go further. And we're able to really feel into, oh, how much space is being offered? And is that space starting to open up? So the next time you're looking to the right, or rather your turn of the head is to the right, pause and just stay in that position. Please don't hold your breath. So we're going to take 3 breaths here, inhaling through the nose and out through the mouth. Inhaling through the nose and out through the mouth. In through the nose and out through the mouth. And coming back to center. And just noticing if there's a difference between the 2 sides of the neck. You may notice there is, or there may not be. But just pausing between sides to see what's noticeable. And then turning to the other side. And again, go to wherever your body allows you to go, not letting the chin hike up. And we're going to hold this shape for 3 breaths. And you're not holding it trying to, kind of sneakily push yourself further. You're just holding where you are, but holding in a very breathful way. So breathing in through the nose, out through the mouth. Mindful of the breath, mindful of the feet on the floor, mindful of the sitting bones and the hands and the legs. So growing your awareness and then coming back to center. And then do a few more. And this time you can go a little faster, so you're not going with the breath. You're just starting to turn the head side to side a little more quickly, but not in any way jerking, but just starting to bring a little more dynamic, fluid movement into the neck. And if you notice that there's more space available, just enjoying and moving into that space. But again, never forcing, never pushing. So just one more to each side. And then coming back to center. Now we're going to bring the right hand up to the right cheek or temple. And we're just going to gently press the hand into the side of the face and the face into the hand. So just creating a gentle, even pressure, hand into face, face into hand. And then gradually allow the press of the head into the hand to increase. So the pressure of the head into the hand is gradually more than the pressure of the hand, so that you're starting to tilt your head. So right ear is coming into the right hand and towards the right shoulder, but the hand is there to support, so there's no stress. And then you're starting to feel the opening on the left side of the neck. And if this feels okay for you, you can let the left arm just dangle down and let the weight of the arm just maybe bring a little more opening into this left side of the neck. If this is comfortable, you can reach the left arm slightly to the side and slightly back behind you. Just reaching through the tips of the fingers, slightly back behind you, out to the side. And we'll just take another breath or two here. So don't over effort. Imagine you're breathing in and out of the left side of the neck. And then bringing the left arm back onto the thigh, and then pressing with your right hand to lift the head back up into the center and release the hand down. Close your eyes and notice the difference between the two sides of the neck. And then we'll do the same thing on the other side. So bringing the left hand up to the cheek or the temple, wherever it feels quite, that you can nice and comfortably and confidently press the hand into the head and the head into the hand. So at first it's that equal pressure, head into hand, hand into head, and then gradually the head starts to press a little more, but the hand is still there to receive the weight of the head. And gradually the left ear is coming down towards the left shoulder. And the hand, and the shoulder's not hiking up, so let the shoulder relax away from the ear. And if it's okay here, if this feels like a comfortable place to be, staying connected to the feet on the floor and the seat on the chair, you can just let that right arm dangle down. And if this feels okay, you can then reach that right arm to the side, and you can stop at any point. So if it starts to feel too much and you just want to bring the hand back, that's fine. But you can bring the hand out to the side and just reach through the fingertips back and away from you, letting the head rest into the hand and reaching the opposite hand away, and breathe into the right side of the neck as if the breath was coming in and out of the right side of the neck. 2 more breaths. And then releasing the hand back down onto the thigh and press with the press with the left hand, pressing up into the center and release. And then noticing that side, close your eyes. So taking these pauses to notice is very important. Sometimes in life, we just keep going. It's important to take the pauses to notice if there's any discomfort, or to notice if, oh, that feels good, and to take a moment to relish enjoyment in the body. And so now that we've maybe opened up a little space in the sides of the neck, we're going to just turn from side to side again and see, oh, that feels more spacious. I'm certainly feeling that it's easier to rotate my head. I hope you might be feeling a similar sense of spaciousness and freedom. Doesn't necessarily mean you go further, but when you do go, or wherever you do go, it feels more free. That's what we're interested in, feeling more free and easeful in our body. So doing a few more of those shoulder rolls. So we'll just do 4 in one direction. And then 4 in the other direction. Good. And now we're going to open the feet out a little wider. So maybe slightly to the outside of the legs of your chair, stabilizing yourself on your sitting bones, and bring your hands down towards your knees, and see that your knees are going in the same direction as your toes. So sometimes you could turn your feet out quite wide, so your toes are going this way and your knee is going that way, and the knee doesn't like that. So try to have your knees going in the same direction as your toes. And then you're going to lean over to the left side and come forward. So feel the weight coming into your feet and over to the right side and back up. And you're going to make these big circles. And we're going to do about 3 more in the direction that we're going in. This is called stirring the pot. So we're kind of stirring ourselves around the pot of the pelvis. And then you can come up to center and then go back the way that you came. And just let the breath do whatever the breath wants to do. And using that connection of the feet on the floor. If you feel a little unstable in the feet, lift and spread your toes, and that often wakes up the muscles and hugs them to the bone and helps you feel a little stronger in the legs. And then coming back to center, bring the feet back. And we're just going to do a little work for the hips. So I want you to interlace the hands underneath your left leg and lift the leg up. Now, if you get it up this far, then reach forward and hold at the front of the shin and squeeze it in. And then let it come away from you a little bit and then squeeze it in. So you're using your arms a little bit here. And squeeze it in. And then the last one, squeeze it in. And then release that one down. Let's do the other side. So interlace the hands underneath the back of the thigh to lift that thigh up as far as you can. And then slide your hands forward and hold the shin and squeeze that leg in. And release it a little, squeezing it in. And release. 1 more, 2 more actually. Squeeze in and squeezing in. Now, for some, that might be a little challenging. It just might not feel so comfortable. So if you have a scarf, that can really assist you in this move. So I've got this big long scarf. I'm going to fold it in half. So I've got a little more kind of strength to it. And I'm going to lean forward and I'm going to put the scarf just kind of underneath the knee and hold it quite closely. So just enough space between my hands to kind of cover the front of the leg. And I use that to lift up. Now you take as much as you need to, but I like to hold it quite close. The foot on the floor, press that down, take a breath in. And on the exhale, squeeze in. On the inhale, let it come away from you a little bit, straightening the arms. And the exhale, squeeze in. So if you're doing it without a scarf, same action. Inhale, let it come away from the body, arms straighten. Exhale, squeeze in. One more, inhale. And exhale, squeeze in. And see if you can hold it there for 2 breaths. Even an extra little squeeze. One more. Squeeze. And you're trying not to round back in the chair, right? You're continuing to sit on your sitting bones and then release. Let's do that on the other side. But actually first, let's take a pause, especially if you're using the scarf, and just wiggle your fingers. We're going to come to the hands more specifically in a moment, but just give your fingers a little wiggle and a shake. And then take the scarf again. Put it underneath the top of the knee. Foot that's on the floor, that's going to be your stabilizing leg, presses down and up you come. Take a breath in. And on your exhale, squeeze that knee in. Inhale, let the arms straighten, let the knee come away. Exhale, squeeze it in. Let it come away. Exhale, squeeze. You can let your shoulders move back as if you're doing a shoulder roll. And then last time, squeezing it in, but now holding it for 2 breaths. Keep yourself sitting up nice and tall. Connect to the foot that's on the floor. Connect your sitting bones to the chair. See if you can smile and make sure you're breathing. And then release. You can put your scarf away and then shake the hands out. Shake the hands, shake the hands, shake the hands, and then hold the chair, jiggle the legs, take them out to the side and back in. Side and back in. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. So keeping your right foot, see if the knee up and just do little circles here. So you have, with your wiggling and jiggling, you were moving that. Now circle the other way. 1, 2, 3. And if you can hold on to the knee and you can lift it, 4. So much the better. Let's do the other side. I'm just kind of getting myself stable on my sitting bones. So if you can lift it and move it, just making circles with the knee, and go the other way. And as I said, if you can reach comfortably the knee with the hand, you can give it a little assistance. And that's so good for the hip. We're going to do 4 more to each side. Now, again, you want to keep your upper body more or less steady so that you're not leaning back. You're not kind of destabilizing everything. So you're keeping yourself firmly on. Well, the sitting bone of the leg that you're moving is going to move a little bit, but you're not kind of collapsing in your spine. So again, you can hold on to the chair if you want. Circle 1, 2, 3, 4, and go the other way. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Other side. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4. And then after those big ones, just a few little, and you can kind of turn the knees in and out. So we're just trying to rotate the thigh bone in the socket. And you can do it by turning your toes out and then turning your toes in. Turning your toes out, turning your toes in. And coming back to center. Take a pause and just feel into this area at the front of your hips. You might feel kind of a warmth, maybe even a kind of a liquid feeling. You could even use your hands, as I'm doing now, using the little fingers to kind of massage into that area. Okay, we're going to do a few more bits with the arms, and then we're going to put some bits together. So just make circles with the wrists. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Go the other way. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then we want to do something for the elbows. So you want to just, as if you're kind of punching out into the air. And so you're kind of straightening. And you can do it up here if that's available for you. But if that's uncomfortable for your shoulders, you can just do it kind of out to the side. So we're going to do about 10. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Whew. Okay. So now we're going to do some raising of the arms, and you go to where is available to you. So we're going to start with the hands kind of by the side, palms facing forward. Feel the feet on the earth, feel your seat on the chair. And as you inhale, let the arms come out to the side and let them come to wherever they come for you. And then exhale as if you're pressing something down. Like this. And then palms facing forward. Inhale out to the sides and up. Don't strain, but keep the arms straight. So rather than bend the hands and have them touch, just keep them straight and let them be here or here or here or wherever they come for you. And then bend the elbows and press down. So we'll do 6 more of those. Inhaling and exhaling. Exhale like you're fogging up that window. And I enjoy this movement so much. I've lost count already. So let's do 2 more. Inhale. Last one. And then we're going to go in the other direction. So coming forward, palms facing up. Let yourself go where you can go. When it starts to get tight, the palms can face each other. And then turn and go down and out by the sides. Inhale like you're sweeping something up. If it starts to get tight, turn the palms in as if you're holding a big beach ball. Let them come wide and then down. So we'll do 6 more like that. And it's natural that the exhale coming down is a little bit longer than the inhale going up. That's okay. And if it's available to you to close your eyes, so that you're not concerned with what I'm doing, but that really you can find your own rhythm with your own breath without struggle. So you might just go to here and then out and down. That's fine. So rather than struggling to go all the way up, go where the body and the breath take you with ease and a sense of graciousness and connection with the body. Good. So we're going to do 2 more little pieces. So a side bend and then a little bit of a twist. So let your left arm come down by the side. And then inhale it out to the side. And when it gets to about the level of the shoulder, turn the palm upwards. And then let the hand come to wherever it comes. So it might come here or here or here. And respect your shoulder. Allow it to be where it is. And with daily practice or regular practice, you might get more range of motion, but you don't want to be like, feeling really uncomfortable. So it might be here, here, here. Let it be where it is for you. So inhaling. And then as you exhale, you're going to let yourself lean to the side. Now, if that feels in any way like it makes you a little bit nervous, you can bring this hand to the opposite leg, and that kind of gives you a little counterbalance. But what we're trying to do is get into a stretch from the hip to the armpit and the armpit up. Now, sometimes people bend the elbow and think that that's more important. I'd like you to keep the arm straight if you can, and don't worry so much about how far you go. Okay, so inhaling, come to wherever you can come, and exhaling, leaning to the side, holding to the opposite leg if that feels stabilizing, and then inhale up and exhale down. Let's do 3 more. Listen for your breath to make sure you're breathing, inhaling up and exhaling down. 2 more. Good. Last side, but take a moment to notice the difference between the sides. And then going to the other side. So the arm dangles down, inhale up and reach to the other leg and exhale over. Inhale up and exhale down. And even if you're going just maybe to here, when you lean over, that's where you'll start to feel the opening. So allow yourself to be wherever things are, feeling stable and easeful for you. So you're gradually moving towards more opening in the body without struggling, without stressing yourself. Because when we create stress or we struggle, it usually tightens things up in a way that inhibits our breath and creates tightness and unpleasantness in the mind. So coming back to center, and the almost last thing we're going to do is just a little twisting motion. So you're going to bring the arm up to wherever it comes for you. So it could be here or here or here. And as you exhale, you're going to turn. So I've got my left arm, and you're going to turn to the right and try to touch the outside of the right leg. And then when you inhale, you're going to lift up through the crown of your head. And on your exhale, maybe finding a little more turn. Now, as you turn, towards the right. Your left knee might come forward a little, and that's perfectly normal, and that's good. You don't want to hold your hips rigid. And then we'll have one more breath. And then on an inhale, opening back, and exhale, coming down. Let's do the other side. Inhaling and exhale, turn, bring the hand across the body. So right hand to left thigh. Inhale, lengthen up through the crown of the head. And exhale, either holding your position as you exhale, or maybe finding if there's a little bit more of a turn. You can let the right knee move forward a little. Take one more breath in. And exhale, maybe there's a little more turn, or maybe you're just holding where you are. And then inhale, unwind, and exhale back. Let's do that again. Other side, first side, inhale, left arm up, exhale, little rotation over towards the right side. Inhale, lengthen up through the body. You can bring your right hand a little bit behind you, roll your right shoulder back. Take a breath in here. Exhale, let your left knee move forward a little. See if that gives you a little more space to rotate. One more breath. And then inhale to derotate. Exhale the arm down. So right arm, inhale. And exhale, let the right knee come forward as you come into your rotation. You can take the left hand behind you or to the hip. Inhale, lengthen upwards. Exhale, roll the left shoulder back. So just seeing what space there is, not pushing, jerking, struggling. I'm going to take one more breath here. As you exhale, let the right knee move forward a little more. Maybe there's a little more space. And then inhale to derotate. And then the very last thing that we'll do, and I just want to turn my chair so that you will see from the side, is a full movement for the spine. So you start with the hands at the mid-thigh, and then as you exhale, let yourself come into that position that I was kind of cautioning you against at the beginning, just to stretch out the back. And you can let your hands come down to the knees, almost letting the fingers point to the shins, and drop your chin towards your chest. And then as you inhale, draw the hands back. So thumbs come into the hip crease. Lift the shoulders and roll them back, and lift the chest and lift the chin. So you're coming into this kind of arching of the spine. Keep the feet clear on the floor here. And then exhale, let yourself round, hands come down towards the shins, head drops. And then on your inhale, it's kind of a nice lifting motion. Elbows come back, chest lifts, chin lifts. And exhale, release. Let's do 4 or 5 more. Last one. And then coming back to center. Just turning back to see you. Find just a place where you can sit easefully, allowing the body to just receive all the actions. Eyes closed, connecting with the breath. Letting the breath release. And I want to share with you a poem for our closing. And you can feel free to keep your eyes closed. So this is a poem from one of my favorite poets, Mary Oliver. And this is from her collection, Devotions. And I just love the word devotion. If you read enough of Mary Oliver's poems, you can really see why she's chosen this word as the title for her collected poems. But it also applies very much to our yoga practice. So when we take this time to pay loving, kind attention to these gentle movements, to open up the energy pathways, to really appreciate our own bodies, and to deeply appreciate the interaction of the body and the breath, we're acting in devotion. We're devoted to the service of the breath in the body. We're devoted to supporting and helping and maintaining the good health of the body. And we become devoted to our own steadiness and a sense of easefulness within ourselves. And I think that this poem reflects this idea of creating space in our day, creating space in the body for the breath, and creating space in the mind and the heart for this sense of devotion. This poem is called Lingering in Happiness. After rain, after many days without rain, it stays cool, private, and cleansed under the trees. And the dampness there, married now to gravity, falls branch to branch, leaf to leaf, down to the ground, where it will disappear, but not, of course, vanish, except to our eyes. The roots of the oaks will have their share, and the white threads of the grasses and the cushion of moss, a few drops round as pearls, will enter the mole's tunnel. And soon so many small stones, buried for 1,000 years, will feel themselves being touched. After rain, after many days without rain, it stays cool, private, and cleansed under the trees. And the dampness there, married now to gravity, falls branch to branch, leaf to leaf, down to the ground, where it will disappear, but not, of course, vanish, except to our eyes. The roots of the oaks will have their share, and the white threads of the grasses and the cushion of moss. A few drops, round as pearls, will enter the mole's tunnel. And soon, so many small stones buried for 1,000 years will feel themselves being touched. So, as the poet describes the movement of the cleansing water of rain down into the earth to touch the stones, we might similarly feel that the cleansing breath, the nourishment of breath, is able to move more deeply into the body after we've opened things up again, and that our very bones, the very marrow of our being, feels itself being touched by rejuvenating aliveness. So bring the hands together at the heart center in Anjali Mudra. Anjali means an offering. So we've offered ourselves this time, this space, this breath to reconnect to the magic, the mystery of our aliveness. And I want you to inhale, lift the hands up, and then open the arms out in this gesture of what's called prana mudra. Prana means the life force. So closing your eyes, but kind of opening to the life force that's all around us, that moves within us, and setting an intention for the rest of your day. Setting an intention to live from this fullness of the life force. Setting your intention for whatever is of importance in your life. And then gathering that back into the heart, one hand over the other, sealing in your practice. Namaste.